Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Obviously, if you can't tell, I'm in one of my largest reading slumps I've ever been in. It's really taking a toll on my reading. I literally only read 11 books this year. So I'm trying to get back on that, and I will have a video of me trying to get out of the reading slump, but currently I'm still in it. So we're just gonna have to push on through and deal with this. But I thought instead of doing a reading related video today, I thought I'd actually talk about the books that I've recently bought, because if there's one thing I can do, it is spend a fortune at a bookshop. So I thought I'd just show you the last few books I got within the last month or two, which is unfortunate to say. It's only been a month of spending. So half of it, well, quite a few of them are actually not from me spending, but from a book subscription that I got from one of my family members for my birthday. So yes, so half of them isn't really me spending, but yeah. So let's get into the book buying haul. Okay, one of the first books in this video is Book Boyfriend by Lucy Vine. I got this one in my Mr. B Emporium's monthly book subscription. It looks like a really cute romance. It is about two twin sisters who are falling in love with people that they shouldn't necessarily be falling in love with, and it is a cute book related romance story that I'm very excited to read. I've never read a book by Lucy Vine before, and I don't actually think I've seen this advertised a lot. That was one thing I selected in my subscription, is that I don't want like big book talk books that like everyone will have. Number one, because I've already probably bought it, and also I want to read and diversify my reading. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. Next is two books that I bought at the exact same time when I was out with CJ, and this is because Waterstones was having one of their buy one get one half price tables, and also I'm pretty sure it was a double stamp day, so of course I had to buy them. That is The Goldens by Lauren Wilson and Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. So I bought these two, and they are quite different vibes. This one I know is a mystery that involves influencers and reality TV, so it's going to be very exciting to watch this one unfold, and I think this is going to be a very quick read that I can read maybe to get out of my reading slump, so you might see this featured in another video soon. And then Rewitched I bought because it looks like a very cozy autumnal book, and we are heading towards the colder months here in the UK. It is now August, so it's the 8th month of the year, and all it has done recently is rain, so this has basically matched the mood perfectly, so I can't wait to read this. It involves a woman called Belladonna, and she owns a bookshop in London, and it's her trying to find her magical spark whilst also navigating her London world, which is very exciting, and I didn't know it was featured in the UK, so that's going to be fun, because I feel like a lot of books where they're like small town romances or just like small town stories are always in America, which is funny because England is literally made up of like villages, towns, cities, and most of them are like towns and villages. So I'm kind of excited to read a book that's finally done in my area instead of like Minnesota. I'm very excited to read this. Next was low-key because I was talking to one of my friends who has read the entire series, and I've been the most skeptical about these books since I was first introduced to them on BookTok. I read the first one in the series and I thought it was I didn't really like it, but then again I read it during a readathon, which you can watch and I'll link it below. But I just think it was such a strange book. But I've caved because I really just want to know how the story goes. I'm kind of missing out on a lot of stuff on BookTok because of it. So the next book I've bought is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. I didn't realise how thick these books were. It is actually insane how large these are to me. Like, what do you mean? Oh, I love a fantasy though, so I'm kind of hoping I love this, but I don't know if I will because Sarah J Maas's first book wasn't really up my street, but from the people I've spoken to, apparently number one was not the best and their favourite was number two, so I'm excited to read this book. Obviously this follows Feyre and Tamlin after the first book, which was a glorified Beauty and the Beast story basically, and there was no plot at all, so hopefully this one has more plot in it. But I am excited to read it at some point. Maybe I'll make a book video about it, and this is definitely because I bought the third one too. I thought I was in Sainsbury's, and I don't know for all my UK viewers, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not from the UK, you might not. But when you go to a Sainsbury's or an Asda, which is our like Target, Walmart, all of those kind of stuff, books are incredibly cheap. I got both of these for £5 Great British pounds, which is insane. This one is also thicker than this one, so I'm gonna have fun reading that. But I'm also excited to read these during autumn because I love a fantasy during autumn. I mean, I love fantasy all the time anyway, like it is my favourite genre, but the best time to read a fantasy is when it's autumn outside, it's cold, you've got a nice candle on, which I have got on today, by the way. There is one just out of view, which is my antique bookshop smelling candle. But yeah, I can't wait to dig into this series and hopefully understand the hype. Maybe not, we don't know. But these will probably definitely most be featured in a reading video because I know do well. That's a joke. I'm excited to read them and I want to share my thoughts with you guys. So yeah, that's very exciting. The next one I also got in a Mr. B Emporium's subscription box, and it is The Minister of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. Sorry if I said that wrong. I'm very excited to read this. I haven't heard of it before, and it looks like it involves time traveling and history, which I really love. I love a historical romance. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this and also delve into a book that, again, I haven't really seen talked about on Book Talk, which is a refreshing change because I feel like every single book I read at the moment is on Book Talk, and that is my own fault. But still, I'm very excited to read this, and I will hopefully give you a nice review soon. But as I said, I'm in the world's largest reading slump at the moment, so I actually don't know when I'll get around to any of these books. But yeah, very excited to read this one. Next one I bought was when I was on my trip to Rye, and not Rye, I was on my trip on the Stourport Ring, and I bought the book My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. I bought this book because I was genuinely so excited to read a book by Daphne du Maurier again. I read the first one for Rebecca, which was for my English A-level, and I genuinely loved it. Rebecca is such a hauntingly beautiful book, and it's told in such a like insane way, and it made me fall in love with Daphne du Maurier's writing, so I went, why not try another one? So I picked up this one. I heard of Jamaica Inn, but I wanted to try this one first because it seemed kind of similar to Rebecca more. It features an orphan called Philip who is raised by his cousin Ambrose, and it's all about Rachel, who could possibly be the killer of his adoptee Ambrose. So I'm very excited to read this one. It is giving Rebecca with a femme fatale character, which I absolutely love in classic writing like gothic genre of Daphne du Maurier's. So I will definitely be doing a reading video on this. Probably about reading a book by classic literature or coming back to my English roots, because I do love an English A-level book. Around the same time, I bought Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Stephen King is an author that you genuinely, if you read books, you know his name. Even if you don't read books, you probably know his name. Again, author of It, right? But I bought this one because it's about vampires, and I actually started reading it while I was on holiday. But there is one thing about Stephen King, is that his books are so difficult to get into. I am like 60 pages in and I put it down because not only are the thickness of the pages Bible, but genuinely so painful. So yes, definitely won't be reading this anytime soon, but I do want to pick it up again, maybe in autumn/winter when it gets again darker, colder, cozier. So yeah, maybe we'll come back to this at some point. The next book I did actually buy in Rye when I was on my girls' holiday with Caitlin and our friends, and that is A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske. I'm gonna say it's Marske. I saw this, and my friend Maddie, who I did my English A-level with, who I absolutely adore, she is so kind and smart, and I love her. I love you, Maddie. Said that this was supposed to be really good, and I read the blurb in Waterstones, even though I haven't seen much about it online, and went, I need to buy that book. And it is about a hidden world of magic, manners, and mayhem. And I really love like a classic historical fantasy fiction, and this kind of sounds right up the street of that kind of vibe. And also the cover is stunning. I love this cover so much. So, and it's a debut novel, that's insane. But yeah, I can't wait to read this. Finally, we have Songlight, which I actually got today. So I got this in my final Mr. B Emporium's subscription box, and it is a fantasy looking book, which is about a town which is full of ruthless hunters who capture and kill people who have songlight, which is a telepathic connection, and it follows the main character Lark, who makes a strong bond with another person, and now they have to figure out who they can trust in this war on their world. And I'm very, very excited to read this. This sounds so up my street, and I'm actually surprised I've never heard of it before. Moira Buffini. I'm excited. I am. This was published in 2024, so it's quite a new release. So I'm very excited to read this. And I actually have never seen it before, so I'm very excited. So that was a rough look at all of the books I've bought recently. I have bought a few more, which I won't show in this because I've already spoken about them, or I'm currently filming a reading vlog about them, aka Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. But yeah, this is all the books I've recently bought or remember buying. There's obviously going to be more. My TBR is ever growing and changing, so don't be surprised if I make another video about this soon, because I have bought so many books. It is an addiction, but a good one. So yeah, I will see you on the next one, which will hopefully be an actual reading vlog. I'm hoping to get out of this slump if it kills me, because I'm so over it. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!